4 games on the board for today. We'll do a quick recap of yesterday, jump through a couple of the comments as well, and get up out of here. Enjoy. You guys are going to enjoy your Saturday. Do the same thing. 2 of these games I kind of deep dived into. The other 2 I kind of want to talk out. I feel like I got a little bit more work to do. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get to the window with an actual bet for the game. All right, let's jump into it for today. So yesterday, I sent out some plays early, did not end up making any of the later plays, and probably for a good cause. Probably wouldn't have cashed, even though there was a couple plays that I did like that one. The plays I sent out early were Clint Capella under on his rebounds. I talked about not liking it as much because Jalen Durham wasn't playing. Probably should have stayed off of that. I think he ended up with like 13 rebounds. So Clint Capella does cash there. Trae Young does get his double-double. Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get his double-double because he shoots 2 for 11 from the field against Charlotte, and they score 83 points. But he did go over his assists. So we end up about a split. Most of those were like half-unit plays, and one of them was a 1-unit play. So updated numbers on the numbers on the right are not updated yet, but I'll get them updated. Just really trying to keep my head above water with all the games going on. It's a lot. To produce the show and try to cap the game. So this is a lot going on, man. So hit the like button for me as you join. I'll go through a couple of the comments and then we'll get up out of here. What up, Big Marv? Monusur, I think is how you pronounce that. It says Katie, Ant-Man, AD, Tatum, Dallas, Phoenix under 233, cash out. Yeah, I really like that Dallas and Phoenix under when I talked it out with Ski and Cal yesterday. What up, Joe? Appreciate you for tapping in. GLB says it's a great day to get some cash. Let's give Chris a like on his way in. Appreciate that, GLB. I know you had a strong system on that under yesterday, even with overtime. Brooklyn and Boston stays under the total. So shout out to GLB Best. He did share it in the Discord yesterday. Good morning, Kyra. Appreciate you for being here this morning. What's up, AB? Marquis says rise and grind. He had a 4-1 night. He took Jalen Green under his 20.5 points. Was good money. OKC held him in check. Now, last 5 of 6 games, including the matchup, under 18 points as well. It's crazy how OKC performs when I put my money on them, and then when I don't play them, they scrubbed the floor with the Houston Rockets last night. The Rockets looked like they were a bottom 5 team in the NBA compared to OKC last night. It's magical how poorly they played in Denver the other day. But it is what it is, man. AB says never betting the Kings again as home favorites. Yeah, that's something you don't want to do. It was Clippers and nothing in that game last night. I like the under, and that was a winner. Tim says I was out of Providence for the last few days, haven't been able to make a bet, so let's go. What's up to my guy Mark? Always in here. Robert Dobbs says that Trae Young double was money. What's up to my guy Bryant? Halliburton overrated, James says. He is, I don't know what's going on with Holly. I was watching that game. Charlotte couldn't even get a stop, like with Grant Williams at center last night. I know they were down Neesmith. I know they were down TJ McConnell. I did not expect it to go down like that. I didn't bet the game, but I didn't expect it to go down like that. What up to my guy Justin in here? Hot TV Grits says, appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you, bro. What up, Dropping Dimes? He says dealing with some back spasms. I did see that, but when he's playing, it don't really look like it. He says he was hampered in the playoffs and still affecting him now. If you notice, he's still wearing the heat pack on the bench. I didn't see that part though, Dropping Dimes. What up to my guy Fahrenheit? Reminding people to like, comment, share, subscribe, buy some merch. Appreciate you, bro. And Brian says a revenge game for the Jazz, but do we really expect them to stay close with all the injuries? We'll jump into that one. That is one that I deep dive. What's up, Can't Stop? Appreciate you for tapping in. What up, King Predictions? Runda here says, love the info. Let's jump into the info for today. The first game we got up. So jaXon, of course. Check out jaXon. I'm actually going to read off to you guys something that I read on jaXon when I was thinking about this Jazz and Spurs game. jaXon, for people who don't know, if you're new to the show, it's kind of like a chat GPT for sports betting for fantasy sports and for player props, size, totals, whatever it is that you need. It can create your tables. It can type in, tell me who's the worst. Bring up a table of the worst passing defenses in the NFL, or create me a table of the worst 3-point defenses in the NBA. You can ask for top player props within a certain game for a whole slate. It's a lot of things you can do with jaXon in a lot of different languages. And if you guys are interested in signing up, there's a referral code in the description of the video. It'll get you 50% off of your subscription. I know a lot of people have been taking advantage. Here's a lot of good feedback. I have great feedback for it as well, which is why I continue to use it and promote it. So yeah, check out jaXon if you guys are interested. And like I said, I'll talk to you guys about something jaXon told me in this first game. So let's jump into it. Jazz Spurs total in this game opened, I think, right at the 6.5 is what I saw it open at. Let me double check real quick. Yes, open 8.5. Money's actually coming in on the Jazz to keep it within the number. And the total is, I think, it's coming down. It opened 222.5 and it's down to 220.5 now. So for Utah, Keontae George is listed as questionable with the foot injury. He's the only person I saw in the injury report when I looked earlier. Let me double check and make sure I'm not missing anything, but I think it's just him. Mr. Keontae George. Let's see. Yeah, he's the only one. On the opposite side, for the Spurs, Devin Vassell is set to make his season debut. That was tweeted out yesterday. Malachi Branham listed as a game-time decision. Trey Jones and Jeremy Sohan are both still out. Malachi Branham is dealing with an ankle injury that he suffered in the game on Thursday. And I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. I think it hurts the offense a little bit more than it hurts the defense. But getting Devin Vassell back, probably their second-best player, is definitely going to help the offense. So looking at the spot for Utah, this is the last game of a 4-game road trip. They're coming off a 23-point beat to the Milwaukee Bucks. They lost that game 100 to 123. And then for San Antonio, this is the second of at least a 5-game homestand for them. This is also a 3rd game in 4 nights as well for the San Antonio Spurs. They play 4 straight overs for San Antonio. So either they're playing really good defense, or either they're playing, their offense has gotten better, or their defense has really struggled in a couple of these spots. So when I look into it situationally, continuing the situation, Cap, San Antonio was we were on the right side of San Antonio the last time they played Utah. I think their game was played on Halloween, sometime like around Halloween, and they won that game. They won by 18. They were laying 2 points road favorites in that game. That game did not have Lauri Markkanen involved, though. We got to remember that. The total went well under at 220 without Markkanen being there. So with Markkanen back, they just played against the Bucks, and their offense still really struggled. Outside of the game that Utah had against the Chicago Bulls, like, this is the worst offensive rated team in the NBA. So I kind of like immediately looking at it, I'm thinking Jazz team total under, just to kind of stay away from the spread. I don't want to lay 6.5 with the Spurs. Maybe it's a revenge game, but either way, I think both based on the pace that this game goes under. So for my people who are interested in jaXon, I'll tell you what jaXon told me about the game. So jaXon says that both teams are in the bottom third in the league in possessions per game. Jazz ranked 21st in pace, 102.2, and the Spurs are even slower at 29th. They rank 98.1 possessions per game. You got to remember, when you like unders, you want teams to not have that many possessions in the way they can't score. The slow pace, of course, limits scoring opportunities. So you look at the Jazz, they are the lowest scoring team in the league, averaging just 104.3 points per game, while the Spurs are only averaging 105.9 points per game. So you put those two numbers together, you get about 210 points. Both teams have struggled to score consistently, with the Jazz scoring 100 points or fewer in 4 of their last 5 games. Then you look at the Spurs defensively, they're allowing 108.1 points per game, 5th in the NBA. They're giving up 120. And while the Jazz have been poor, they're giving up 120 points per game, which is 26 in the NBA. So jaXon says, given the slow pace and the fact that both teams have struggled offensively, lean towards the under. The unders hit 6 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams, and their combined scoring in the last few games have been well below today's total. So isolated to just a tad bit, I did give out Jazz team total under 108 this morning. I think it's down to 106 on a couple books. But that's the way that I would play this game. I would just play under. I'll read through the comments real quick, and then I'll talk to you guys about a couple player props that I considered, but haven't pulled the trigger on anything quite yet. AB says Holly can't get his mind off the bunnies. Oh man. And in retrospect of that game yesterday, man, I'm thinking to myself, because I watched most of it. In retrospect, I'm thinking, all right, we talked about this yesterday. We said no Miles Bridges. We said they don't have a center. Like, why didn't we should have just played Brandon Miller points? Like, that should have been the look, man. Brandon Miller he's a bucket. He's a bucket. And he actually doesn't mind putting his head down, getting to the rim. He doesn't settle for threes a lot. We know Indiana is one of the better three-point defenses in the league, but they couldn't stop that either last night. LaMelo was in his bag in the fourth quarter, absolutely cooking the Indiana Pacers defense that was without Nesmith last night. So, yeah, that was my other takeaway. Ian Stop says, how do you feel about the Spurs and Jazz first half? Under 107.5, Jazz 3-1 on the road, Spurs 3-1 at home to the under in the first half. So interesting that you say that, and it's probably a spot where it does stay under. Can't stop. When I was looking at the game, I saw 2 7-1 trends in the first half under. So it's even stronger than what it is that you're saying. I don't know, man. The Jazz defense really, it scares the hell out of me, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna read off the Jazz last 5 defensive points allowed per 100 possessions. Against the Bucks, they allowed 130.7 points per 100 possessions, ranking in the 7th percentile. Pretty bad. Against the Chicago Bulls, 122.5 points per 100 possessions, ranked in the 23rd percentile. And you want to rank in like 80, 90, 100. So I gave you 2, and it's 7 and 23. Against Denver, 124.3 points score per 100 possessions, 17th percentile. Only good game they had was against San Antonio, 106.2. That's been the best defensive performance that they've had. But now you get them, like I said, last of a 4-game road trip. Typically, a spot where it's not even that they might run out of gas. It's more so like they just been all over the place. Denver, Chicago, Milwaukee, San Antonio. I just don't think that they can score the basketball. So, but the trend that I was telling you about, first half, the Jazz are 7-1 to the first half under. 7-1 to the under in the first half. Spurs 7-1-1 to the first half under as well. So didn't talk you off first half under. I think I looked at the number. I think it was like one. Was it like one? I think I might even still have it pulled up. It was like 108.5. I think it was. But it's not something that I'm gonna be putting my money on today. I'm gonna either play this game straight for the full game or nothing at all. That's just my personal preference on this. Let's see real quick. First half, 108. 108 is the best number you can get if you like the under. And I can see it staying under. I really could. What's up, Jacob? He says actually catching the show at the gym. CLV got the under 223. Love it, Jacob. Love that a lot. He says there was only 191 points when they played earlier this season. That game didn't have marketing, but I can't imagine marketing coming back and then moving 30 points. It also didn't have Devin Vassell, but he could look a little. It's hard to imagine Devin Vassell looking rusty against the Jazz, though. Like, this is the perfect opponent you want to play against in your first game back, especially at home. Good morning, Kristen. Appreciate you for tapping in. Fahrenheit says Wemby under his 3 threes. Last 8 to 10, got it at -155 on Bet365. Paired it with Norman Powell to get the juice thing. This is the interesting one too, Fahrenheit. It was actually something that I was picking up. I actually like Wemby to go open over his 3-point prop. The thing that kept me off is that Devin Vassell is back. I'm not sure if it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I guess a blowout could happen. Anytime you're talking about the Jazz, they could absolutely get smoked. The reason why, because I know I looked at these numbers that you're talking about. The reason why I considered Victor Wembanyama over, because I remember watching this game when they played earlier this season. I want to say it was on Halloween. I keep thinking that it was on Halloween. I think it was. And in that game, Victor Wembanyama, I tweeted it out too. If I go back on Twitter, I'm pretty sure I remember tweeting it out. Like, Victor Wembanyama is playing today's game as if like a 13-year-old is playing with him on 2K, because he shot so many threes in that game. And if I just go back and look at it, that was the only game so far that he went over his 3-point prop. He hit 4. and today's number is 2.5. 2.5 at plus 140, I think. He shot. He's only shooting 23% from the 3-point line. I give you that. But he shot. I want to say, I thought I looked at the numbers earlier. I know the attempts were there, and that scared the hell out of me because I'm not sure if if Walker Kessler can't get out the paint. But he was letting them go. I want to say he shot 9 threes in this game, but I can't. Don't hold me to that because I'm looking at it now and I can't find it. My fault. He shot 13 threes in that game. That's the game that he shot the most threes. He's shooting. His 3-point numbers are not good. 14%, 22%, 17 last 3 games. He hasn't gotten up more than 6 attempts, but they actually did come against some. I guess Portland's not the greatest defense, but yeah, I don't know, man. The matchup really scared the hell out of me, so I stayed off of that one because I actually wanted to take Wemby up and over. Hopefully you cash it over. Right? I'm not going to be winning. He also likes Wemby under 12 rebounds. He's under the last 4 versus the Jazz. He's 7 of his last 9 this season. Yeah, Victor's numbers have been inflated, man. I think that's going to depend on how many minutes he has to play in this game. If the game's close, I can see him getting there on the rebounds. The Jazz have also been one of the worst rebounding teams this season. When he played the Jazz earlier this season, Wemby only had 9 rebounds in that game, so he has stayed under. In like you said, in 7 of the 9 games, he's only gone over twice. The rebound opportunities against the Jazz, he had 19. He just only came down with 9. And the only games he went over was against Houston and the Clippers, and he had 22 and 24 rebound opportunities in those 2 games. So only had 11 in the last game, 11 rebound opportunities, and only finished with 8 boards against Portland. 7 rebound chances and finishing with 6 rebounds in this last game. So yeah, the numbers kind of align for that one, Fahrenheit. I like it. Mark says, "Hey Chris, the audio is having some issues today. Maybe pick it back later to see what that means." But you want? No, I appreciate that, Mark. I gotta check that out. I keep saying I'm gonna do it. Let me make myself a note because a lot of the times I don't even go back and listen to the shows just to add the titles. Yeah, I'll check that out. See what's going on with my mic, or it might just be my AirPod. Appreciate you, Mark. I will look into that. Let's see, 9-0 in the first half against the number. That's a crazy number. I did see that last night. Let's see, what else y'all saying about this one? Will be unscathed fed families this season, but he actually has a good matchup. I agree with that. He does have a good matchup. What up, Charles? Mark says, "Can't trust the Spurs without Pop." Not laying 7. That's a lot of points. I agree. Val says, "As a Spurs fan, I think Wemby is off to a slow start due to CP3 on the court coaching. Not a bad thing, but wait until mid-December to see 24 plus consistently." I kind of agree with that, Val. I kind of agree with that. The books there was so much hype around Wemby that we probably should have been playing his unders at the beginning. So yeah, I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. Brian also says my audio is cutting out. Speaking to the mic. Let me know if you guys can hear me if I do speak directly into the mic. Because that could be it. GLB says, since and including 2023, unrested home favorites playing in the non-conference game 13-0 straight up, 11-2 against the number when they're coming off back-to-back covers. It says to take the Clippers. So we'll bookmark that one. I like that a lot, GLB. What up, CJ? Says he cashed out yesterday. These Nets first half yesterday. They are on a mission. I don't know about today. We'll talk about that game in a second. Matter of fact, let's go to that game. Jacob says he's been hitting under on Victor all season. You gotta let me know, Jacob. I like under money too. Appreciate you, JLB. Says he's gonna put it in Discord. All right, let's go to the next game. Bulls and Hawks is the next game. Is it the next game? It is the next game. Let's not go Bulls and Hawks. Let's go I do want to talk about. I want to talk about this game first. Let's see. Yeah, I want to talk about this game first. Let's talk about Brooklyn and Cleveland, because I'm kind of tired on this one, but I think I know the play that I'm gonna make. So Brooklyn will be without Ben Simmons, of course. The second leg of a back-to-back. Ben Simmons does not play second leg of back-to-backs right now. On the Cleveland side, I think everybody's in outside of Max Strus. You do got to wait for the injury report, as both of these teams are coming off the second leg of back-to-backs. So Brooklyn went to overtime last night, second leg of back-to-back, and coming off the overtime game with Boston. They did lose that game, but they were very competitive and feisty. Just looking at the box score, a lot of the starters played big minutes. And there was one more thing I wanted to make note of, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, looking at Cleveland, their starters did not play big minutes last night. Kenny Atkinson did a really good job of managing minutes. I think only Jared Allen played 30 minutes or less than 31 minutes. All the starters played. So you got a Cleveland team that is like Ashford, like they're just crushing it right now. Really difficult to bet against Cleveland. I think they were 10-0 straight up, 9-1 against the spread. And then on the opposite side, you got a Brooklyn team that's been very feisty as well. The Brooklyn team just continues to cover spreads. They are, especially if they're getting a boatload of points as they have been recently. This Nets team has been really, really good. And there was a situation earlier this season where they won a second leg of a back-to-back and they were coming off an overtime game. They won the next game outright. It was against the Memphis Grizzlies, and they were at home in that game. No, they were on the road. They were coming off the overtime game against the Denver Nuggets, but we got a cash, barely got a cash in that game because their offense dried up late. And then they went into Memphis the next night and won that game outright. So Brooklyn has, and that game was of course without Ben Simmons as well. So Brooklyn has, kind of showed that they're gonna be something to mess with a little bit this season. I think they played above their heads, but man, it's kind of they're gonna play hard. Coach Fernandez has them out there playing hard at least, and 13 is a big number. I think this number was at 11 last night. Got pushed to 12 and a half. I do see 13s, and the total is starting to come down. That's the way I kind of want to attack this. I kind of want to look at the total. So real quick, I'm trying to get Moneyball up, even though it looked like it won't go to what I needed to go to. Bear with me for a second. It's something I wanted to share before I get into the play that I like. All right, here we go. All right, so for the Cavs, this is 3rd and 4 and 4th and 6 outside of the second leg of a back-to-back as well. Somebody mentioned it in the chat, and shout out to Moneyballer. The Brooklyn Nets are 8-0-1 against the spread in the first half, 7-2 overall. So they've been covering numbers. I mentioned the Cavs being 9-1 against the spread. They've been covering numbers. Nets also 7-1-1 straight up in the first half. So I do think all of the Cavs have been playing. If the Nets are going to show up in this game, it should be early, right? I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. If they're going to run out of gas, it's probably going to be late in this game, in the second half, when they have exerted so much energy in that game and having to travel from Boston to Cleveland. So when I'm thinking about the game, I'm thinking this has to be an over game. Like I feel like the team total for the Brooklyn Nets is a tad bit too low. I think it's like 103.5, and I can see them getting there. I know that their offense is not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I can see the Cavs kind of overlooking this Brooklyn Nets team in this situation. Maybe not even overlooking them. Maybe they just score, and that's all they really care about in this spot. Recently, that's what they have been able to do, is just score the basketball. Cleveland team total sitting at 117.5. Kind of like the over there as well. I think that they can get to 118 against this Brooklyn Nets team. I just feel like, given the spot, that both of these teams coming off second leg of a back-to-back, we don't see much defense. So I looked into it because I was like, that's the play I want to make. I want to make over. The Cavs are top 5 in pace. We know that they're the number 1 effective field goal percentage, to have the best offense in the NBA right now. And they should have everybody playing. So I looked at this unrested teams coming off an overtime game that went under. I'm talking about the Brooklyn Nets specifically. So second leg of a back-to-back. They're coming off an overtime game that went under. To me, that implies that they play really good defense. The other team played really good defense as well. In that next game, they're actually strong to the over. 55, 36, and 1 to the over in the next game. That's 60.4%. In the last 16 occurrences, 14 and 2 to the over. So it's hitting 87.5% right now. 87.5% dating back to the 2019 season are the overs. So I thought Cavs team total over. I thought Nets could get to 104. I think you just put them together and play the over at 220. I think the best total you can get right now with the total dropping is excuse me, is 221.5. So you can get a 221.5 on Bet 365. You can get a 221.5 on a lot of books. That's what I like in this game. I like the over. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one. What's up, Lightbearer? Robert says Nets cover in the first half. They absolutely do. Not sure if I'm gonna mess with them today though. Ryan says Brooklyn off overtime game in Boston, Cleveland. Their stars is only played about 27 minutes last night. I mentioned that. Joe says this trend supports the Nets. If you're off a loss as an 8-point dog and are an 8-point dog again, unrested in the first 10 games, you're 21-6-1 against the spread since the 2010 season. Shout out to Joe. In this hell of a trip, Joe. Where you get that from? So, all right, if you're off a loss as an 8-point dog, previous loss in previous line greater than or equal to 8, and rest equals 0, and you're an 8-point dog or more again, and it's within the first 10 games. Since 2010, 21-6-1 against the number. Overall, I see 55-34-1 against the number, covering about 62% of the time in the whole Killer Sports database. Just like to double check the work to make sure I got the trim right. So I'm gonna go since 2010. I got maybe you didn't add the greater than signs to yours, Joe. I got 29-13-1, and it's an over trend too, 57%. That's what I was really looking for. I think the Nets can keep it close, at least in the first half. I think they can keep it close, and I like the over a little bit more than anything else. And this also aligns with the over, 57% to the over. Farron says he likes shorter points and threes without Ben Simmons. We're going to talk about player props in a second. King Prediction says take the Nets plus the 12 as well. G Herb says this is a huge number, but I get the rest angle. Dropping down says team total under. I think they can get there. It's 103.5, man. I really don't enjoy taking team totals under 103.5. Like, you need the Nets to have like an 18-point quarter if you like them to stay underneath this number. What up, Jarrell? Appreciate you for tapping in. I feel like it's been a minute since I seen you in the chat. Cavs team total 117.5. G Herb. Nats Sudoukos says I don't know how you don't take Spider for 22.5 points. I think Brooklyn hanging enough for Spider to smash the spot. Is his points prop that low? I don't think his points prop can't be that low, is it? It is. It's 22.5, minus 120 on DraftKings. Yeah, that does seem super low. I'm with you. He should have a great game today. I was thinking Cavs first half, maybe for a game after the next overtime, automatic fade. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll tell you guys, if I'm being blatantly honest with you guys, I have no idea like the level of effort that Brooklyn is going to be able to put forth today. Like, when you come that, like, you could be heartbroken coming that close and playing against the Boston Celtics, and then you have to travel. So imagine what time they got to Cleveland this morning. It probably was like, what, through 3 o'clock in the morning. And now you're playing against a team that is running up and down the floor and scoring at will, that's moving the ball, that's pushing the pace, that has one of the best offense in the half court. Yeah, I don't know, man. Brooklyn has been so better than I thought they would that I don't necessarily want to bet against them, but this should be a flash spot for them. I still think they should be able to score. I think it wouldn't surprise me how it went today, if I'm being honest. Malcolm says he got some Spurs, some Cavs, some Clippers. What do you think? We'll get to those games in a second. Brooklyn did fire Kenny Atkinson, didn't they? I think you're right, Charles. He was the coach there for a little while. Team total over. I like it. I'm still not just the spread, but I'm pretty sure that Coach Kenny Atkinson got fired from Brooklyn. Damn, I want to look that up now. I don't want to hold the show up. Yep, they fired Kenny Atkinson on March 7th, 2020. That's when jaXon got the job. And then, of course, he got fired last year. Yep, good call out, Charles. Good call out. He might want to. Might have some revenge on his mind today. Appreciate you, Charles. Yeah, Mark, I'm right there with you. I think I'm gonna just take the over. Appreciate you for putting this in here, Joe. I didn't add the away. Okay, I didn't add the aways, and I didn't add. Yeah, I did have the game numbers right. Appreciate you. He said, bro, don't fade my cast. He was definitely the scapegoat, dropping dimes. I'm with you. That team was just terrible. Is he at the window right now with it? Revenge tour for Atkinson, Andrew says. A lot of people starting to like the Cavs, man. Don't let me talk you off. What's up, Mitchell? Appreciate you for tapping in. AB says his spotted points is 22.5. He will be spending the fourth quarter on the bench up 25. And I can see it, man. It would not surprise me if Brooklyn ran out of gas here, especially given that Cleveland. Not like Cleveland had to work hard for their win last night. It was a pretty easy win. All right, let's move on to the next game. I like the over in that game. The over 221.5. I haven't played it yet, but it's my favorite play in that game. Let's move over to the Bulls and the Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. So I actually had this one system play for me. Didn't play the game, but a system play I had pop up in my calendar. Just kind of looking ahead was this is a terrible spot for the Atlanta Hawks. It's fifth game in 7 nights for the Atlanta Hawks. Typically a spot you want to fade a team in, not every single time, but most times. And they did lose last night. So they were in Detroit. They lost that game. Second leg of a back-to-back with travel. Third and fourth, fourth and sixth, and fifth and seven. Not the greatest spot for the Bulls either. This is a third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 nights. The Bulls have also been really, really poor defensively. 21st defensive rating, but the Atlanta Hawks 26th defensive rating. This was a game when I looked at it yesterday. I said, I'm taking the over. I don't care what the total is. And I didn't expect it to be this high, though. I was hoping we get like a 235, a 234.5. Books opened it up, I think 236.5, and it's already on the move. These, like I said, really slow, really fast-paced teams. Both of these teams are top 5 in pace. Both of these teams are bottom 10 in defensive rating. So I do see a lot of points here. The Bulls only want to get up and down the floor. They don't play a lot of defense. I do think that they'll be able to score against Atlanta. And on the Atlanta side, I think that they'll be able to score as well. Trae Young, we cashed his double-double last night. Over on his assist prop, I think we can go back to the market there. Jalen Johnson should have a big game against the Chicago defense that gives up a ton of points to the paint. I'm just talking right now, but that's something that I really want to write down. I know when I looked at the Bulls defense, it's Swiss cheese in the middle. So Jalen Johnson over his points, rebounds, maybe points plus rebounds, and assists. Put some numbers with that just real quickly. If I'm looking at Chicago defensively, they are allowing teams to get to the rim at the 4th highest rate and shoot 38% of their shots at the rim. and their opponents are, and they're last in rim accuracy. So they're allowing teams to shoot the best percentage at the rim as well. 73% are teams' field goal percentage in the second half specifically. So yeah, I like Jalen. I mean, that to me that aligns well with a Jalen Johnson prop. Not sure what the number is for Jalen Johnson because I didn't look too deeply into that. But let's just go look at it real quick. Dude's been absolutely on fire. So rebounds plus assists, it looks like rebounds plus assists, he's been killing. 5 for 6 in his last 6 games on the season. He is 7 for 10. He did stay under last night against Detroit, so perfect bounce back spot here. Number looks like it's 13.5 for Jalen Johnson. He's over in 7 of his 10 games, and in 6 of his last 7 games, he's actually going up and over the number. Potential assists, he's averaging 10.2. Rebound chances, he's averaging 17.1. He's playing 37 minutes a game. I like Jalen Johnson tonight. I like him a lot. His points prop is up to 21.5. He's only gone over in 3 of his last 7 games. But I mean, he should be able to give whatever it is that he wants in this game. I like Jalen Johnson a lot tonight. Probably gonna get there with the rebounds and assists, but I think the points make a lot of sense. Yeah, I like Jalen Johnson a lot, man. I'm not laying points with Atlanta either. Like I do think they're better than Chicago. I'm not laying points with Atlanta though. It's only over for me, and it's only Jalen Johnson is the ways that I would look to play this game. Let's see if you guys have any thoughts on this one. Back to the well with Trae Young double real quick. The number for Trae Young. Taking Trae Young assists, I think, make a lot of sense in this spot as well. Like I said, it is the 5th game in 7 nights for Atlanta, but they get one of the worst defenses in the league. So cannot talk anybody off playing Trae Young double. My screens, I feel like, are loading slow, man. I got dial up internet or something over here. Let's see. All right, so Trae Young assists specifically 10.5 minus 145. It's up to 11.5 on most books. Honestly, that doesn't even scare me off. This could be a 15 assist game for Trae Young today, and I'm imagining that the minus 145 is on Hard Rock, which limits me. I can't bet more than $10 on Hard Rock, and it's 11.5 on every other book. So I think I'd be comfortable with the 11.5. The double for Trae Young is minus 220. No value with Trae Young double, even though we did have a little bit of value last night. It's because it's a fast-paced game. Let's see. How has Trae done in recent matchups? All right. So head-to-head, last time they played, Trae Young had played him 3 times last year. He actually didn't get to 28 points in any of those games. He had 21, 19, and 22 3 times that they played last year. As far as points go. As far as assists go, he had 13, 14, and 10 last season in the 3 matchups that he played against them. He had 23 potential assists, 8 potential assists, and 19 potential assists in those 3 games. So yeah, the potential should be there for Trae again today. This could be a fast-paced game, up and down type of game. I like Trae Young over his 11.5 assists. I may even play that straight. But I like Jalen Johnson rebounds plus assists even more. Probably the rebounds. I'm just talking this one. This was one of the games that I didn't do a deep dive into, but I'm just looking at some player prop stuff. Jalen Johnson rebounds by themselves, listed at 9.5. Minus 110, it looks like. This season, he has hit the over in 5 of his 10 games. 2 of his last 3. He missed it by a hook last night against Detroit. And I told you guys he's averaging 17.1 rebound chances. He's had 15 or more rebound chances in 4 of his last 5 games as well. 5 of his last 6 games as well. So this is the guy that I like to rebound in basketball. Can't take Clint Capella under today just because he's playing against playing against Chicago. Chicago's not the greatest rebounding team in my opinion. Clint Capella rebounds listed at 7.5 on the over. Outside of yesterday where he had 12, he hasn't gone under in 9 of the other he's going under in 6 of the other 9 games so far. So he's only cashed the over on his rebound prop in 3 to 10. Last season he did have a 17 rebound game, an 11 rebound game, and a 5 rebound game. Remember I said yesterday, this was also predicated on minutes. And I feel like his minutes went up. He actually only played 18 minutes last night and still finished with 13 rebounds. I think that 12 rebounds. I think that was more so without Duran. So yeah, if the minutes aren't going to be there, especially if Vucevic pulls him outside the paint, shooting all those threes, it makes a lot of sense to take him under on his rebounds prop again. But I'll probably stay off Capella today. I like Jalen Johnson up and open. Let's see. Jacob says Trae Young system players assists to the Bulls. Yeah, I really like Trae Young over his 11.5 assists as well. The other thing about this game though is like, and I'm not gonna do this on the screen, but I'm looking at somebody assists for Chicago. I don't know if people saw it, but Cade Cunningham had a triple-double. He almost had 10 assists at halftime last night. Atlanta defense on the fifth game in 7 nights is not going to be in a great spot either. So I don't know if that's Kobe White. I don't know who over there getting assists. Probably Josh Giddey, I guess. His assists should absolutely be cashed today as well, especially without LaMelo Ball. So maybe I will look at that real quick. Josh Giddey over his assists. These are things I probably should have thought about last night, but I didn't. I don't even see Josh Giddey assists. Am I missing something? Yeah, Josh Giddey assists not listed. How come? Not on the injury report, is he? I don't think I saw him in the injury report. Yeah, maybe the books don't want to list it, but Josh Giddey's assist should be on the board as well. Joe says Bulls are nothing for me. Hawks 16-30 against the spread without rest since the 2021 season. Bulls since last year also 17-8 against the spread off a loss of more than 10. Also since the 2022 teams are 13-20-1 against the spread after losing to Detroit. So not a bounce back game at all. David says he hates this game. And I'm with you, Jacob. I'm with Joe as well. I said it before you guys said it. I'm not laying points with Atlanta. What's up, AOD? Trae Young threes could be a look. Let's look at that real quick. Let's just look at the Bulls 3-point defense. Bulls actually running teams off the 3-point line. That's not what they're giving them a lot of points. They're actually third right now in the NBA in opponent 3-point accuracy. They're holding teams to less than 33% from the 3-point line, and they're running teams off the 3-point line as well. I think it was Anthony Edwards who lit them up in the last game, but they were on the second leg of a back-to-back in that spot. So I guess you give them a little bit of credit for that. If you want to attack the Chicago team, you want to do it in the paint. Like I said, 27th in opponent rim accuracy, 27th in opponent rim frequency, 30th in opponent rim accuracy. This is not a team that protects the rim. They do a really good job at the 3-point shot. In Trae, 5th game in 7 nights, I can see, legs might not be there. Doesn't mean that he can't dish it out, but legs might not be there for sure. Dyson Daniels over his 11.5 points, AB says. Jalen Johnson, Trae Young assist down low. I agree. Jalen Johnson double maybe, Jacob says. Appreciate you for shouting this out because I hadn't thought about putting them together. Here, Jacob. Let's see real quick what this is. Jalen Johnson double is. Oh yeah, minus 110 on FanDuel. Yeah, I like that. I just mentioned playing his points plus assists over. Minus 110 is really good odds on FanDuel for people that are interested. Shout out to Odds Jam. BetMGM also got a minus 110. Bet365 got a minus 110. A couple minus 118s, and DraftKings got a minus 120. So definitely shop around. Make sure you're getting the best number. What I'm talking about, Joe, he says, damn, Chicago gave up over 9.5 rebounds to power forward position 4 times. And they just don't got a lot of rebounding out there. Brian says, Cody White, threes. Does anyone have a number? So let's flip it real quick. Now we got to get to the last game because I got to get ready to get up off here. Love talking these games out with you guys, though. So if we flip it and look at Atlanta defensively, we know that they stink, but where do they stink at specifically? I may even take the points with Chicago if I'm being honest with you guys. Or maybe a Chicago team total over. That way I don't have to worry about – I know it's going to be fast-paced. I don't have to worry about them getting stops because their defense stinks. But their defense is still better than Atlanta's. Maybe I'll take Chicago team total over. Kobe White. All right, so I'm getting ahead of myself. My ADHD kicking in. All right, so Chicago, offensively, they're shooting a ton of threes. 9th, 4th overall in three-point frequency. Shoot 43% of their shots come from the three-point line so far on the season for Chicago. And they're shooting it well. 37.6% is 11th in the NBA. They're 5th and above the break three frequency, 10th and above the break three accuracy. And the Atlanta Hawks are the worst three-point defense in the NBA. Allowing teams to shoot 41% from above the break three, allowing teams to shoot 41% from all three. The corner three, they're bottom 10. The Chicago Bulls are shooting the 9th most at the 16th best percentage, shooting about 38% there. Atlanta also allowing teams to shoot 41% from there as well. So yeah, this Atlanta defense has been good against the rim, good at the rim, but not so much. So this says Vucevic threes, Kobe White threes. Whoever it is that you want to take on the Chicago Bulls, they should hit a bunch of threes. Atlanta doing a pretty good job of protecting the paint. 10th in frequency, 10th in accuracy for their opponent, and 6th in frequency, 4th in opponent paint accuracy as well. So they're doing a pretty good job of protecting the rim. They're getting torched from the three-point line, which we knew that already. I guess I hadn't thought about it too much. Yeah, so Kobe White threes makes a lot of sense here, in my opinion, Brian. Vucevic been a lock this year, over 18.5 points. Let's see if we got Vucevic's 3-point numbers. Over 1.5 at plus 105. Nikola Vucevic. Now, I know this number is coming down because I remember 105 on FanDuel. Because Ski gave this out the other day on his show, and it was plus 150 or plus 140, I think. And now the number's all the way down to plus 105. Only available right now on FanDuel as well. Kobe White 3-point prop is. I don't see it available at all. Yeah, I saw no. I still don't see it available as well either yet. So I'll probably have to wait for that one. Let's see. Jacob says he's take every OG assist versus the Bulls. Hit all year. I mean, take Conley 5 assists. Dude had 11. Nice, like that a lot. Giddy props not up yet. I wonder what they're waiting for here. GLB says be careful fading the Hawks this season. If you look at a team that previously won, they previously covered against the ATS wise. and they've covered 2 times in a row, and their rest equals 0, and their favorite might not be a good spot. I'll look into that a little bit later. AB says, Chris, you will like this Capella double-double. I already don't like it. I'm not messing with Capella, man. His minutes is like, even he had 13, he had 12 rebounds. He only played 18 minutes last night. Like, Dan Snyder, not Dan Snyder, Quinn Snyder, he don't really rock with Capella, in my opinion. I already don't like it. He says, possible against the Bulls with those rim protection numbers and lack of rebounding. I guess you got a point. John says Zach LaVine over 28.5, a good look against Atlanta on the fifth game in 7 nights. I would absolutely think so. Zach LaVine is listed as questionable though. He has not played the last 2 games for the Chicago Bulls, so keep that in mind. So you got to wait for that. The line probably will move when Zach LaVine gets rolled in too. We'll see. Jacob says, how are you not taking the Bulls? Hawks sold my money line yesterday. They on the do not bet list. Dropping Dime says, if you play Jalen Johnson 10 points and 10 rebounds on 365, you can get good plus money. Appreciate that, Dropping Dimes. He always go to Bet 365, play it and get a lot better odds. If you just put it together yourself, if you build it out yourself, you get better odds. Appreciate you, Dropping Dimes. Just made a note of that. Top 20 says I got in front of the Cavs back in Golden State and got ran over. I almost got there with you, man. I'm so glad I didn't. If you watched the show yesterday, I talked about how Golden State, had a chance, in my opinion. Wanted to see what happened with Dean Wade and Draymond. They both got rolled in. It did not matter. Dean Wade helps that team so much. Jacob says Bet365 has great value on LaVine at 20.5 points. Chasing the Bag says he likes Garland over 6.5 assists. Jalen Johnson plus 105 double-double built out on 365. So that's about 10 cents you can save. Appreciate you, SK, for putting that in the chat. And I think we got, one more game? I think we can get through this last one pretty quickly. Raptors and the Clippers. I also hadn't really looked too deeply into this game. We'll go injury report first, and then we'll break it down real quick. So injury report. We have, I did see that Quickly was upgraded to questionable. Quickly has not played in how many games? It's been a while. He's missed 8 straight games, suffering a right pelvic contusion during that home opener against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Quickly could make his return today. There's optimism that he could play. Still without Scotty Barnes, of course, no Kelly Olynyk. And the Clippers, I fell asleep on this game last night, but they did exactly what I thought they would. The Clippers have covered every game on the road. Their defense plays better on the road than they play in that Intuit Dome place that they just built, and they've won every game on the road. They beat the Kings last night, so this is the second leg of a back-to-back for them. They beat the Warriors as well, and they beat Denver in the first road game in Denver this season. Now they're back at home, where they typically play a little bit faster and typically don't play as much defense. So my initial thought on this game was take the over. Toronto's going to run up and down the floor, play super fast. The Clippers on the second leg of a back-to-back, we may see them kind of get engaged in that back and forth with the Toronto Raptors here. But Quickly comes back, I can only imagine that the pace gets even faster. I'm not wanting to lay points with the Clippers, even though I feel like they can win this game and really stifle the Raptors. So that's just my initial thought process on the game. If I get into the actual numbers, let's just look at the Clippers offense and let's look at Toronto's defense. And real quick about Toronto. Toronto is, go to moneyballer.com. So Toronto is 2 days rest, first leg of a back-to-back. Toronto plays the Lakers tomorrow. Clippers, second leg of back-to-back, third game of 4 and 4th and 6. Excuse me. I'm looking at defensive rating. This Raptors team is the worst in the NBA, giving up 121 points scored per 100 possessions. Clippers, 4th in defensive rating. Raptors, 9th in pace, so top 10 in pace. Clippers, second slowest pace team in the NBA. Raptors 7-2 against the number. Clippers 6-3 against the number. Clippers 0-3 ATS in the first half at home. So Raptors early. I can see the Clippers having to let down after a big divisional win last night against the Clippers, against the Sacramento Kings. I could definitely see that. Raptors are 7-2 to the over in the first half in the full game. Clippers are 6-1-2 in the first half to the under, and 3-0 to the under in the first half at home. So two very, very different style teams. Clippers also 6-3 to the under for the full game, 2-1 to the under as a home favorite. Clippers have gone up and over their team total in 6 of their 9 games. The Raptors have gone up and over their total in their 6 of 9 games as well. So I don't think the Clippers care about this one as much, in my opinion. Not that they won't want to win, but I just kind of feel like they're gonna push the pace and be able to score. And I think the Clippers can get engaged in that style of basketball, in my opinion. One thing I wanted to check real quick. Clippers on the second leg of a back-to-back so far this season, 1-1 straight up. They beat the Warriors outright. They lost to the Suns, gave up 125 points in that spot. As a home favorite, though, I know they lost to Portland in this spot. Yeah, they lost outright to Portland, 105 to 106, 106 to 105. They beat the Spurs by 9. They beat the 76ers by 12. So they did win and cover both of those games. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a difficult game for me. It's probably something I'll play a player prop in, but not anything that I want to be too heavily invested. I do kind of think it's an over game, though. I think the Clippers will be able to score against the Raptors. It's not a good defensive team. When I look at the Clippers so far as a home favorite, these 3 games have been against really slow-paced teams too. They played the Blazers, the Spurs, and the 76ers. 3 very slow-paced teams. They still went up and over against the Spurs. And the Raptors are absolutely much faster paced than all 3 of these teams. So, yeah, I kind of like over. I guess over would be my top inkling in this game. If I look at the team totals real quick, it looks like the Clippers team total is 116.5. The Raptors team total is 109.5. It looks like on most books. And I think that they can get to 109. I really, really do. I do see some 108s out there on some of the smaller books like Valleybet and Bet Rivers. But yeah, I think they can get to. I think the Clippers. I think they both contribute in scoring this spot. Like I said, fatigue spot for the Clippers. Big win against a divisional opponent. Probably overlook the Raptors here. Don't play as great defense. So over in this spot or nothing at all, in my opinion, is the way that I would play this one. Play stay away from the spread. Let's see what you guys are saying here. What up, Free Sauce? Jacob says Dwight Powell. Norman Powell, under points, rebounds. He says check Prop Madness. All I'm saying. Okay, I'll check out Prop Madness. Rishkashar over his points, Manuel says. He also likes James Harden to score today. James Harden being able to score makes a lot of sense. Clippers are on fire. Clippers are going to want to win at home. They've had a problem. Even on back-to-backs, I think, but 7 points. I think the over 225 or maybe just the team total over. GLB says, Chris, you might want to lay it with the Clippers after seeing the system in the Discord. I'll check that out. Even if they don't cover, I can see them scoring. Drop a Dime says Clippers team total over 115.5. If Quickly returns, just to this point GLB mentioned, that could also throw off. He could be super rusty, and it's a really good defensive team in the Clippers as well. He says they're gonna wipe the floor with the Raptors. Drop a Dime says Clippers win the game, but don't care about defense, especially with OKC on deck Monday. Good look. Dougie Bone says James Harden, just take him over his assists. If Quickly is back, RJ Barrett under his 5.5 assists. I think that is a really good look. Resource. He'll have less usage. Interested to see if Quickly is on a minutes restriction or not. But I can see that. I can definitely see that. Harden double. Manuel got like 100 plays in this game. I hope you catch. This old school Raptors logo is the best. I agree. I love this. I love that logo for the Raptors. It makes me think Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady. What up, Helms? Appreciate you for tapping in. One says, I actually like the Clippers here, Chris. They've been playing great defense all year. And I agree. I do agree with that. Clippers have been playing some really good defense. It's just coming off the divisional win, I think, is like, I don't know, man. The Clippers as a favorite, like, this kind of feels like it's a letdown spot in my opinion. Now, maybe I'm overthinking it, but 7 is a big number too on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel. Clippers have been a favorite 3 times. They are 2-1 straight up, 2-1 against the spread. They're winning by an average of 7 points, which is right where this spread is. Like I said, those games all came at home and it came against slow-paced teams. I'll look this up for you real quick, Jacob, and then I'm gonna get a recap to get up off here. So Harden double-double is Harden double-double makes a lot of sense. It's minus 130 on ESPN Bet is the best number. I see some minus 145s out there, minus 140, a couple minus 150s, minus 130 for James Harden double-double. Maybe we just parlay James Harden double-double with Trae Young double-double. Well, no, not that Trae Young double-double because that's minus 220. With Jalen Johnson double-double and see what the odds are there. Jalen Johnson double-double, James Harden double-double. I'm not parlaying anything. I'm lying to you guys, but yeah, minus 130 for James Harden double-double on ESPN Bet is the best number. Not messing with Grady Dick over his points, Cup of Joe, but don't let me talk through off if you like it. 16 and a half for Grady Dick. He is Grady Dick is up and over 15 and a half, well 16 and a half in 5 of his 9 games. The games that he go over, he go way over. He had a 25-point game, a 2 30-point games. He got a 31-point game, 22 and 26. He did really struggle in that last game against the Clippers. He only scored 7 points. The minutes have been there. He's playing about 35, 36, but if he comes back, maybe that interferes with some of his usage. He's shooting, 46% from the field on 16 shot attempts per game, 36% from the three-point line on 7.2 attempts. And he's shooting 91% from the free throw line in about 3 attempts per game. Yeah, I'm not messing with Grady Dick, not against the Clippers defense. But yeah, that's how I'm thinking about it. SK says Raptors give up least assists to point guards. Just saying, they do. I don't think I realized that. They got good defense against the point guard. I gotta look into that. I gotta double check you on that one. I believe you, but I gotta double check you. Smart lady told me trust but verify, Chris. Trust but verify. I like this phrase is always kind of stuck with me. Trust but verify. Let's verify opponent assists versus the trash Toronto Raptors. To point guard position, I'm not sure. Overall, they're giving up the 8th most assists at 26.9 per game. And James Harden gonna have the ball in his hand all game. And I'm not even looking at James Harden numbers, but I know that he's gonna have the ball in his hands the whole game. Just because I said I'm not, now I'm going to. James Harden, let's look at James Harden assists real quick. Assists specifically. All right, so Harden assists 9.5. He has gone under in 4 straight games, but he's cashed his number 4 of the 9 games so far. So he went under in the first game against Phoenix. He had 4 straight overs against Denver, Golden State, Portland, and Phoenix. And he has 4 straight unders against OKC, San Antonio, Philly, and Sacramento. 7, 4, 6, and 8 in his last 4 games. The potentials have really gone down. He's only averaging What's 10, 10, and 15? What's that, 35? 35 divided by 3 is what, 12? So he's averaging about 12 potential assists per game over the last 3. Whereas the first 5 games of the season, he had 15 potential assists or better in every single one of them. So that does give me a little bit of hesitation. I don't know. Let's see how well Toronto does against the point guard position. Number 1. Damn, you were right. My fault. My fault. Yeah, they are giving. Who said that? Somebody said that. SK. Shout out to SK. He said the Raptors give up the least assists to the point guard position. They do. They give up 6.1 assists to the point guard position. So sharp call from SK there. Maybe I don't like James Harden double as much. I'm not messing with Wemby today, Tevs. What up, Timothy? Appreciate you for tapping in. I haven't seen any Chris Boucher props either. AB taking the under, just not taking the under. Just won't play the over. Yeah, I kind of like that a little bit more as well now, SK. All right, let's jump into a quick recap before we get up off here. I like the Utah Jazz team total under 108.5 was the number that I got and sent out. This Brooklyn and Cleveland game, I think is an over game, over 21.5. Jalen Johnson, I like the rebounds and assists, but the double I think is probably the better, probably better here. And it's minus 110. It's plus 110 if you build it out. So I will be playing that. I think Nikola Vucevic. He spelled Vucevic. Vuciev. I forgot to spell Vucevic. I think Nikola Vucevic over his 3-point prop is a really good look as well. Over 1.5 3-pointers made against that struggling defense. If you get Kobe White numbers, I couldn't talk anybody off of that. And Trae Young. I forgot about Trae Young. Over his 11.5 assists against in a very fast-paced game, I'm thinking, for today. The only thing that I did bet so far is for people who care. The only thing I bet so far was the Utah team total up in below 108.5. But these are the other plays that I'm not sure which ones I'm gonna play. Maybe I do smaller units and play all of them just to have some action for the day in the 4 games. But Brooklyn Cleveland going over is predicated on Brooklyn being in a very difficult, slow pace under overtime game. Coming off of that game, I gave you guys the numbers: 14-2 trend to the over in the last 16 instances, and I think 60% over the course of the Killer Sports database. Jalen Johnson, we talked about, Chicago not being the worst team at defending the rim. Vucevic may be put in the poster today. Anthony Edwards put him in the poster the other day, but they ended up calling the foul. But I do like Vuce to bring Capella outside the 3-point line and go up and over his 1.5 threes. And Trae Young to get his 11.5 assists, I think, is absolutely good money as well. Remember, Atlanta is Chicago really sucks on defense, but they do run teams off the 3-point line. So I don't like Trae Young points or his threes as much because I feel like he scores a lot of his points from the 3-point line. But we'll see how it goes. These are the top looks that I like for today, though. Getting into the resources real quick that I use, I gave you guys the write-up or the breakdown from jaXon on the under for the Jazz game. jaXon likes the full game under. I just took the Jazz team total under. But there's a referral code and a free trial right now for people that are interested. The link is in the description of the video. Same thing for Moneyballer. Same thing for OddsJam. I'm constantly moving my eyes to the left and the right because I'm looking at all the different screens as I handicap the games, even on the show. So check these out if you guys are interested. And that'll be the show for today. Hit the like button for me if you can on your way out. Enjoy the day. Best of luck on all your action. I will be back tomorrow. Breaking down the Sunday slate. I'll catch you guys in the next one. There you said it.